Everybody is so grateful. Okay. Um, Tomorrow's class is on sales skills that I learned while bowling with Lincoln. And I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty interesting. So it's going to be presented live at the PG office. So come on in, and they are going to bring food. So please come, please come. And we will also be hosting it through Zoom also for those of you that can't make it into the office. There are the rest of our classes for the following week. We have lots of CE. Um, Congratulations to our weekly closers. Is anyone on Zoom or there in the office that is on here? I have no idea. Anyone? Congratulations if you are. That's amazing, especially because it's a crazy time of year. So good job, Garrett Christensen. You are our weekly capper. That's amazing. All right, so I know that Amy is on because I can see her cute face. So I'm going to start with you.
Thank you. Yes, Amy from White Knight Insurance. I don't have any big spectacular news today other than just to let you guys know we are always here should you have any questions on insurance. This would include, we've talked about knob and tube wiring. We've talked about what the roof looks, problems with roofing. If you see anything with, homes that maybe would spark any type of question, we're always happy to look at it. No strings attached. We just want to be a resource for all of you so that you can provide the best possible service to your clients. So we're always happy to help. So give us a call.
Perfect, thank you. Is Jack Andrews or anyone with Edge Homes on? Okay, what about Lunetta?
We have Lunetta here in person.
Awesome!
I've been every week for the last month. What do you mean, yay, finally?
Yay.
No, just want to say good job to all the closers. Don't really have any really specific tip for the day, but just want to let you know that they are anticipating rates to go up with inflation. And so if you have anybody who's looking to get pre-qualified, I would recommend them come in and get pre-qualified as soon as we can. And we have some programs that can actually lock those rates in now. And if you want a little more information on that, you can contact us and let us know. We can let you know how that works. But once again, at least give us a shot to give you some comparisons with maybe if they have another lender they're working with, just so you can maybe give them the option to see what's the best option for them as well. So we have a variety of different ones we have available to you and your clients. And if it's a tough situation, give us a shot because we can usually find a good loan for them. So thanks everybody.
Thank you. Do we have Adam or anyone with IBEX home warranty?
IBEX and Dan's also not here, but I do have Zach from US Title here in person.
Awesome. Can you guys talk a little bit louder though? We can
Yeah.
hardly hear the Lunetta.
Okay.
I'll talk loud. So, I'm Zach Hymas with US Title. I work with Stacy Douglas. I'm the new sales manager marketer. I started back in September, officially licensed since like October. So I am just coming to introduce myself. I want to get to know as many of the agents, people, and everyone in the industry as I can. Obviously I know from my experience in the past few months, everyone has relationships and those things, and definitely not trying to just come steal people away from those. To me, I just want to pick people's brains and meet as many people as possible and learn everything about the industry. One quick thing about me is my dad owns an excavation business in Vegas. That's where I'm from originally. And my mom was a realtor. So I grew up in the industry working with builders, realtors, all that. Anyway, that's me, and just wanted to say hi and hello, and I want to meet all of you. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And you said Dan's not there. Do we have anyone from Touch Points?
No, no.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's get started on our class today. Our educator is Kathy Moore. And let me stop screen sharing here. All right. Do you have control now, my dear?
Let's see. I think I do.
Can everybody hear her okay?
Can
Yes.
you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Well, take it away.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. This is one of my favorite subjects, but in complete transparency, it wasn't always my favorite subject. I had to learn how to love the numbers, and then I had affirmations of I love the numbers and the numbers love me. And I love the numbers because the numbers will tell a story. They'll tell a story that is irrefutable, and it makes our jobs as realtors easier if we can learn to open our minds and understand. I like the rule of three. Understand three things, be able to give your clients three nuggets, and they will love you. And so at the end of the year, we get to do a really super fun, all encapsulated, all 4 quarters, end of year for 2021. And so that's what I've done. And I've brushed up all the numbers. And this is going to be like one of the most interesting, about 45 minutes. And so I want you to know that you're always safe in my classes. You can always ask questions. If I feel like I can answer the question in the next slide, I'll tell you so. But otherwise, I think a good, healthy conversation is terrific. I also want you to walk away from this class feeling like you've got a really better understanding about prices and trends and the whys and the wherefores. And so please feel free to ask me questions as we go along, okay? So how do you become the Utah economist of choice? Now, just that phrase itself, the Utah economist of choice, can be very intimidating. There could be some people in our little Zoom audience that would be like, I'm never going to be an economist of anything. However, I want to change your mindset around that. I want you to embrace really the potential of you becoming the Utah economist of choice. Now, with that being said, we may have some that already love the numbers, that already know the numbers at a deep level, and they do feel like they're a Utah economist of choice. But that's really bringing something very powerful to your clients. And so my goal here is to help you understand some things at a little bit of a deeper level and be able to convey those easily to your clients. So let's look at the factors, and we're going to look at unemployment, GDP, inflation, as well as inventory, home sales, mortgage rates, and more. Having an understanding of these numbers, particularly sales trends, available inventory, and days on market, are crucial for establishing a trusting relationship with your client. Now, when I first started out in real estate, because I've been in real estate for about 15 years now, and when I first started out, that was really a struggle for me. I stayed in the room of numbers to hear the conversations, but to be honest with you guys, it was more than a year before anything really truly started making sense. Like making sense to the point that I felt like I could even remotely talk about it, okay? So you have to just keep coming back into the rooms, keep listening, and listen to more than one person's opinion. When I put these types of classes together, guaranteed, I've heard 4, maybe 5 speakers talk about the Utah economy per quarter, so that I feel like I've got different people's thoughts and opinions when I put my stuff together, okay? It's smart to have a general understanding of national numbers, but it's even more important to review your local MLS for the most accurate market picture, so you can help your clients navigate the current landscape with confidence. Okay, so that's really important, not only to them, but also for you to be able to convey these things to your clients and to be a market expert for your clients, okay? If you understand the numbers, you'll have a sense of how the economy is going, and you'll be able to sit with your clients and be the economic authority of choice. So for 2021, it was another great year for real estate sales. Interest rates remained low throughout 2021. And in fact, it produced the highest number of single-family home sales we've seen in the past decade and a half, okay? Low mortgage rates means that folks were keen to act before the Fed raised them. FYI, it is said that they will increase in March of 2022. We've seen these little tiny looming thoughts in the background for a number of months. However, they're becoming stronger thoughts. And so I would say, because people are always asking, when is the best time to buy or sell? Well, now is always the answer, right? However, let's think to ourselves, okay, if we've got some clients that are on the fence, now's a good time to create some urgency. Rising housing prices. The 2021 Utah housing market will be long remembered for its record-breaking price increases. We can all agree with that. Statewide, housing prices increased by 27%, shattering the 43-year-old record of 20.1% set in 1978. Write that down. That's one nugget that could promote an interesting conversation between you and your clients. Statewide, housing prices increased 27%, shattering the 43-year record of 20.1% in 1978. So there's two sides to every coin. The income required to buy the median priced home in Salt Lake County has increased from $58,100 in 2015 to $101,400 in 2021. If you walk into the rooms where we're talking about the economy, talking about numbers, pricing, trends, the market, anything along that, one hot topic is affordable housing. What the heck are the first-time home buyers supposed to do with affordable housing? We'll be talking a little bit more about this as we go through these numbers in this class. And keep your ears open and down to the ground for that affordable housing, but it's tricky, okay? So as it stands, just knowing the income increase in the median price home to be able to qualify, that's another good nugget. It doesn't mean that if you don't make $101,400 a year, you can't buy a home. It doesn't mean that, okay? But that's just what that median price point presents as far as income. Not surprising, housing price increases in the Salt Lake metropolitan area, which means Salt Lake and Tooele counties, rank among the highest of all major metropolitan areas across the nation. The Federal Housing Finance Agency tracks prices in the 100 largest metropolitan areas in the country. From 1991 to the third quarter of 2021, prices in the Salt Lake metropolitan area have increased by 601.9%. Second only to Austin, Texas, which holds the record of 614.5%. And ahead of third ranked Boise, Idaho at 587%. So over the past 5 years, we also ranked second with an increase in prices of 84.6%. Now, that's huge. It's staggering numbers. End of year for 2021, 440,000 median sold price in 2020 to 555,000 in 2021. That was an increase of just over 26%, which equals tremendous growth. When we consider the skepticism many had about whether we were about to see a decline in the market heading into the new year, it's interesting when the numbers tell the story. 3,147 units were sold in Salt Lake County in Q4 of 2021. 3,653 number of homes sold in Q4 of 2020, which is a slight decrease compared to Q4 of 2021. Okay. It's so fascinating to me because do you go to a family party and you have the Utah economists of choice that have their own thoughts and opinions, but are not in real estate and they don't follow the numbers, but they have their own predictions. And they're like, well, it's just another bubble and it's going to burst and the whole market's going to fall apart. Like, raise your hand. I think I could raise 2 hands on how many times I've heard that in 2021. It's everybody thinks that is not following the market truly and in the real estate industry in some fashion. I think that we've heard that many, many times, right? So it's hard to glean much about the future of the market other than it's strong now and should stay strong in the near term, okay? There is nothing that indicates that this is a bubble and is going to fall apart, okay? Median days on the market, 9 days for Q4 of 2021. And that's a decrease of 70% from Q4 of 2019 in 2021, okay? So let's talk about median, because a lot of times people think median and average are interchangeable, but they're not, okay? Median is the middle point for a local market's price bracket. It is said that it is a better term than average. The word median is not the average price, but it functions as a more accurate indicator of the true average price of a home. The median sold price of $555,000 represents 26% increase from Q4 2020. The median in 2019, $384,565, which is an increase of 44%. Homes are selling, but if demand exceeds supply, this can create a housing shortage, which puts a drag on the health of an economy by keeping people locked in as renters when they could be homeowners. Does anyone want to, let's stop this for just a second. Does anyone want to tell me what their conversation might sound like if they were talking to a first-time home buyer and these numbers are rifling at their head and they become scared and concerned? What would you say to that first-time home buyer about the market? Can anybody come off mute and engage with me? Sherry, I see you coming off mute. Do you want to talk about that? Oh, maybe not. Can somebody give me a thumbs up? You can still hear me, right? Okay, perfect. So do we have anyone that would like to talk?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. Sorry about that. Little
No
bit
worries.
of technology problems. I'm not camera ready, but I wanted
Totally fine.
to share with you. I just used this conversation last week with somebody. They were first-time home buyers, and to get a property, they had to borrow from their 401k. And they were really concerned about the penalties, fees for doing that. And this particular home was in Lehigh, and Lehigh appreciated about 33% over the last 12 months. And so I was able to say, if you take that money from the 401k, which is making 4 or 5%, and move it into this house, we're predicting, say, 10 to 15% this year, it's going to be a better investment. And that just clicked. And they went and borrowed from their 401k. So there's so many different ways to use this data, and it's fabulous.
Wonderful. Sherry, that was so spot on, and congratulations. That was an excellent conversation. And it was great. And I'm glad that you could make sense for them and give them the information to the point that it did click with them. Because I think as real estate agents, we can all agree that single-handedly real estate is the largest vehicle for wealth building for anyone. It's one of the top 3 for sure. And to see first-time home buyers get scared and concerned, which we understand that, we validate that. And sometimes we have to feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So congratulations, Sherry Lynn. That was awesome. I love that. I hope you guys took some notes on that conversation, because that was pretty darn near perfect. The other thing that I would say, and have any of you felt this or had this happen to you, is The first-time home buyers have, most of the time, have parents that the parents will have strong opinions about the real estate market. And they will share those strong opinions and scare the crap out of their children that are trying to be first-time home buyers. And we're not only having conversations with first-time home buyers that are younger, but we're also having conversations with the parents and sometimes extended family, because that's happened to me a couple of times this past year as well, because they're joining it's just a bubble, it's going to bust, I'm going to wait until the prices come down. You've got to convey that in a very astute and professional way, that there are no economic indicators. Even a world pandemic didn't make the bubble burst, so to speak. If anything, it escalated it. But if there was anything good about COVID, it did keep the interest rates low. And so it's an interesting market we're in right now. So if there was any advice coming from my side as a coach, is definitely get together and start masterminding around some great scripts that will help the fence sitters to leap off of the fence and get into the market, because it looks scary, it sounds awful, and yet people are still going and they're still collecting great profits, but then they're also doing quite well in this market, and the interest rates are very low. So the median is the score that falls exactly in the middle, such that half of the people had higher scores and half the people had lower scores. Okay. Median is the middle number when the numbers are put in order. So the way I looked at it in my brain, because I like hacks, I like brain hacks that will help me remember, median equals middle. So remember your two M's. So the example is, if you look at these numbers, 36 is right in the middle. So that is the median. Okay. Why is the median price higher year over year? A high demand for new and existing properties ranging from single family to townhome to condo in the Salt Lake Valley. Low supply of affordable housing options for home buyers, because the listing inventory is low. This means that more people are bidding for fewer homes, causing a price increase. There are a lot of people from other states, such as California, Washington, and Texas, that are looking for a new home. Now, let's stop for a second and let's have this conversation. I've just listed 3 states that you see a lot of migration into Utah. Of those 3 states, can you think to yourself, do I have relationships with anyone in those 3 states? Relationships with people and relationships with agents or anyone connected to the real estate industry. If you do, I would connect them into my marketing plan. Here's why. You're looking for the people that are going to be moving into the state. You want to be their realtor of choice and their expert here in Utah. Okay, so stay top of mind. B, you want to increase and deepen those relationships with the other realtors so that when they have referral business, you can connect and have a win-win relationship, because if they're moving from Texas to Utah, you want some good Texas agents in your SOI so that they will refer you and think of you first for their Utah needs. If you enjoy working with that referral relationship that you've developed with that agent, then you have someone moving from Utah to Texas, because where they go, they come, and where they come, they go. Okay, so it's reciprocal. All right, you see a lot of Utah people moving to California, Washington, and Texas. All right, so you want to be able to refer your clients to a really great agent in Texas that's going to pay you a referral fee. Now, on the NAR, I don't know if you have a referral form inside of Presidio, but if you don't, NAR has a referral form. So how I use the referral form is I would call my agent in Texas and I would say, hey, Sherry, I have a client that is getting ready to sell their home in Utah, and they're going to be moving to Dallas, Texas. I would love to refer you to these people. I'm going to send you this form real quick. If you would please sign this and have your broker sign it, send it back to me, and I'll send you some contact information. I do not give the contact information on the very initial form. I want that signed so we're in agreement of a referral passing back and forth before I give that contact information. Unless I've got just a really stellar, relationship with this person, I completely trust them. It's not that I don't trust people, but I figure better safe than sorry. That was just my approach and how I handled it. I would love for you guys to think of having 5 pillars of income. Obviously, sales is going to be one of your referrals, one of your sources of income. I would love for referrals to be on your second pillar of income. When I started making the referral source a valid and viable income for me was when I put a number on it. I had a goal. I said, I want to make $15,000 off of my referrals this year. Made a whole lot of difference inside of my business rather than me saying, I'd like to increase my business and referrals this year. I just want to do more. Well, if I do one more than I did last year, then congratulations, I hit my goal. But when I really put that number on it was when it really started tracking with me. Okay, so 5 pillars of income, your sales is one, and your referrals can be your second one. Now, how you do the last 3, everybody's world and life is different. So, but be looking, I'd like to have a couple of those be mailbox money that you earned, but you didn't have to do a whole lot for it. But just thinking, open your brain to 5 pillars of income, because I think that's where we really truly can own our business. Okay. So top 3
Kathy,
reasons. Yes.
Sorry
yes.
to interrupt you.
Yes.
Just so that you know, in the chat, everybody is wanting a copy of these slides or of this PowerPoint or something because they love the stats and they want to share them. So I don't know if everybody wants to just put their email in here for Kathy for later or how you want to do that. I just wanted to let you know that before you close today. Okay.
No, I appreciate that. I'm not. That's one of the things I'm trying to get better at, but clearly today I didn't. The chat room, I get to go in with you guys.
No, that's why I'm here.
There, so
that's
sorry.
why I'm here. I'm here
No,
to
thank you.
with that. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
No,
wanted
you're totally fine.
Let you know. Okay.
I would be happy to send these slides out to you because I want to share this with everyone. And I'll also give you another 2 resources in the Utah, I believe it's in the Salt Lake Board of Realtors, but I think it's in Utah Association as well. On the website, there'll be 2 reports. One is a housing forecast executive report, and the other one is a report called, hold on, Where Do We Grow From Here? That was given by a professor at the University of Utah and a professor at the University of Arizona.
Awesome.
Both of those reports are available to you guys. So when I get your emails, and Tony, can I ask that you kind of give me the information from the chat and just send it to, just cut and paste, send it to me in an email, because I can give you the resources too that I got aside from the MLS.
Okay.
On how I put together this report. And I tried, because to be honest with you guys, it's we could geek out on this stuff for 3 hours easily, right? Because the numbers are deep and wide and it's really fun to talk about it. What I did with this particular class is try to make it just highlights and as simple as possible. But if you really super want to geek out, these are the great ones. And this is where you're going to get the deeper conversations around the it's a bubble, it's going to fall apart. Well, I would talk about this residential sales in Salt Lake County, and it's it's just so hard, and the market's just so hard. This would be if you're talking to another agent, right? Well, if you look at this table, clearly the market's not that hard because it's still red hot,
right?
And we've got numbers from 2015 to 2021. And we're still in the 17, 18, 19,000 houses a year category. Awesome. That's wonderful. If you, in your mind, because can we all agree that some days we don't wake up feeling exactly effervescent and positive, right? Some days we've had a couple of clients that have just plain flat kick the crud out of us, and that we just feel very maybe not great about the market, maybe not great about our ability. What I want you to do is review a month of the MLS. If you say to yourself, well, nobody wants to buy because nobody can afford anything, and nobody, right? Some days we wake up like that. Look at the MLS stats for a month. Look at the people that are doing the business. Pick a couple of them, and I'll guarantee you in the top 5% are going to be some stellar Presidio agents, guaranteed. You guys have sold over $1 billion in real estate. Take one of those top people to coffee. Say, I just want 30 minutes of your time. I want to pick your brain. Find out what are they doing that is different than what thoughts are in your head to get you to think about the market differently if you're having a tough day. That's just a thought. Okay, or a tough week. You know, look at what the people that are doing the business, because you are the product of the top 5 people you choose to hang out with. So choose them wisely and choose them carefully. Okay. All right. So top 3 reasons that Utah is in demand. Well, for me, like number 1, it's Utah and it's gorgeous and it's perfect. And so why wouldn't people want to live here? Because like they're just coming in droves, right? But let's look at some concrete reasons, not how I feel about Utah, right? Number 1, it's larger property. Okay. There's a lot of things that kind of came down thought-wise when the pandemic kind of hit. We went to shrinking our lifestyles to all of a sudden opening them up and making them larger, because if we're going to be at home, we want to be able to have all the things that we want and need inside of our home. So larger properties, larger homes, now that's looking pretty good, right? Affordable marketplace. I get it. To us as Utahns that have lived here for a while, we're looking at it going, oh, holy cow, man, this market is out of control. Affordable. What are you talking about? Look at other places. We're still affordable. Okay. And we do have great scenery and wonderful outdoor activities that are literally right there in our backyard. I think you could vacation for years right in the state of Utah and just never even leave the state. I think we have that much to offer when it comes to that category. Right now, there's approximately 451 units that are currently listed in the Salt Lake County area. I'm sure you guys all know how to look up your own counties, because I know we're from different counties. If you go into the MLS, you can separate it into counties. So if you want to see specifically what Utah County is, change that category in the MLS of your search and look at Utah County only. I did Salt Lake County, Q1 of 2022, there were 543 units. You guys, that's really super low inventory still, okay? Normally, there would be 3,500 listings at any given time. Each property is still receiving dozens of offers from first-time local and out-of-state home buyers. But note this is another great nugget. Utahns are still buying the most properties in Utah, not out-of-state people. Okay, back to the party. How many people have had that discussion? It's like, well, those people from California are just coming in and taking up all our stuff and they're driving our prices up. Nope. Utahns are still number 1 in buying Utah properties. So it's a statistic, but they can't argue it, okay? It does present a challenging market for everyone, well, except for sellers, but still, at the end of the day, it is a challenging market. Your education for your clients is key. It sets expectations for them as to what they will see and experience during the process of home buying and selling. You don't want to have your clients feel like they just jumped into the deep end of a pool, but they have no idea what's happening. And the best thought that they have is plug my nose. You don't want them to have that feeling. You want them to understand what is happening in the market. So again, think of your power of 3. 3 things that you can tell them about the market. Hopefully, don't pick the 3 things that are going to scare the living crap out of them. Okay, pick one thing that might be a little scary, but then 2 things that would be positive. And then have mantras in your own business where they feel confident in your abilities and your expertise and helping them to navigate the waters that they are very unsure of. They want to know that they've hired an expert and talking about the market, just like Sherry told you guys, talking about the market and being able to bring some good thoughts to it helps them to make better decisions. Think of yourself as a consultant, not a salesperson, okay? The market in Salt Lake City is going strong this year, but with the high demand and the growing number of home buyers, the market will continue to have a listing shortage. Here's a great question. We hear it a lot. Is the increase in housing prices slowing down? There is no sign yet of a slowdown. For the past 9 months, prices have consistently increased at over 20% when compared to the same month a year earlier. In December, prices were up 24.3%, just slightly below the largest gain of 26.7% in June. Okay. We can all have our thoughts and our ideas around the why. In my opinion, it's like that doesn't surprise me because I think we can all agree June is a very vibrant month when it comes to people moving and doing things and getting out there and doing stuff. And if we've got such low inventory, the bidding is going to bump it just a couple of percentage points higher. Okay. There's alternative plans, just like Sherry mentioned, borrowing from your 401k. My daughter had a listing here in Utah, and the clients that ended up winning her listing went 50,000 above list. She priced very conservatively. She is a conservative thinker, and she let the market demand take it where it was going to go. She didn't price high, but she did price it like, if here was the level, she went just a smidge below and then let the market take it. But the clients that won, they've been in the market for a year and they weren't winning anything, and they were making bids and they were getting discouraged, and they went to their parents and borrowed the money from their parents, and they were cash buyers. And then they refied after the closing and paid their parents back and then got into the loan. Just another thought that we got to think outside the box. We got to get creative. So they had that opportunity. They had that option. Not a lot of people do. They did. That's how they won. Okay. CDOM, cumulative days on market, refers to the number of days a home is on the market from the first day a home being listed for sale to the last day when it is sold to the new owner. CDOM currently 5 days, really 9 for the fourth quarter. The difference in median days on market in CDOM is that the median days on market are the total number of days the house is on the market from listing to the signing of the contract. Combine the low unemployment and historically low interest rates and our state's low tax rates, and you still have the makings of a really hot real estate market. If you say that statement to the ones that say, oh, it's just a bubble, it's going to burst, they can't argue with that. Okay, so that, and that doesn't make you like a bad guy or coming off as a know-it-all or anything like that. It's just a statement that is hard to argue with. Okay, interest rates are still very low. They could raise without warning. Prediction is March of 2022. They've said that before in the past. It hasn't happened. Who knows? I mean, to be honest with you, I love this report. Okay, so this report of where do we grow from here? Because I like people. I don't know if I can show you. I may not be able to. Hang on. I want to show you this. I like people that shoot me straight. I like people that will be like, that's a really great question. We're not sure yet. I don't know the answer to that yet. It's really not proven yet. Oh, shoot. Anyway, it has this little cartoon of this guy doing this. Where it's like, I don't know yet. Because they're giving you thoughts of where Salt Lake Valley can go by the year 2060. Now, I don't know about you. I can't polish off my crystal ball. I don't really know. I can give you some good thoughts. I like thoughts of where it could go. And here's some thoughts of what it might look like. But is it a constant? Is it a for sure by 2050 it's going to be this? Not really. So I like people that will shoot me straight. I like people that are very authentic and very real. I thought the people that put this report together was excellent. So do I have a question?
Question about CDOM versus just days on market. So if I'm reading that, am I understanding that correctly from the day that it's listed to the day that it's sold is 5 days?
Yeah, it's really 9 for fourth quarter, but yeah, it was 5 for average of like a couple of quarters last year. It's crazy.
That's not under contract? Because I've
Yeah.
never closed on a home in 5 days or
I
less.
know it's like it's how they do the math formula. So to me, it's like I agree with you. That sounds like a ridiculous number, but I've seen it in like 5 different places. I'll do some research and I'll
Okay.
email you back some deeper answer on that, because I agree with you. That's ludicrous.
Doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would understand like maybe 35 days. Okay, you know, a 30-day close, or if it's a quicker close at say 3 weeks, you know,
Right.
like 25 days. Okay, so yeah, if you could let me know, because
Yeah.
I've seen this before, but I'm like, how is that possible? Like, am I?
I know. I don't know.
Because I don't understand it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you. Because every time I type it up, I'm just like, that just sounds so ridiculous. But I've seen it in written form. Let me do a little bit more research, a little bit more digging, and then I'll come back with a deeper answer on that one. I'll write that down. Hold on. Because
Thank you.
yeah, because I don't know if it's got something to do with the cash buyers. I don't know. All right. So our question is CDOM. I'm going to put 5 to 9 days question mark and be like, we need more information. Because I understand where you're coming from. And I respect the fact you don't want to repeat something you don't really quite get or doesn't make sense. Okay, all right, perfect. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Okay. So here's a question that we're hearing a lot. Will the housing market slow down in 2021? Here's the prediction. Yeah, I feel like saying short answer, no. As discussed before, there are several factors that play a part in the value of homes. All of the indicators in Utah do not support that there will be a decline in property values in the near future. Population growth is another big driver in the demand of housing. The state's population growth is 18.4% from 2010 to 2020, which outpaced the national rate of 7.4% and made it the fastest growing state in the US. So yeah, supply and demand, right? It's just in this, I think it's in the Here We Grow report where they talk about, are we creating another like California? In my mind, mainly San Francisco. Are we creating another San Francisco? Gosh, I hope not. I really do. I hope not. It'll be interesting to see how the next couple of years kind of play out with our pricing and our inventory and yada yada yada. I will tell you this is a little known fact. Our RPAC here in Utah is one of the top 3 in the nation. So if you really want to put your money where your mouth is and really be a part of the future of Utah real estate, consider contributing to RPAC, because our RPAC is stellar, you guys. Curtis Bullock, president of the, we've got some outstanding people that are very much respected and heard on Capitol Hill. Affordable housing is a very big issue. As realtors who own their businesses and as caretakers of the future, I believe we really need to be a part of the discussion, a part of the room, and we need to have our eyes and ears open and contribute. Even if you just started in real estate, I highly recommend that you really start getting involved in the politics side of things, because affordable housing will continue to be a very large issue for Utah. So let's be a part of the solution of the problem. Okay. And then the other thing I want to say to you guys before we move on, be nice to each other, please. Utah is very much known for the good relationships that we have with one another as realtors, fellow realtor to fellow realtor. Please continue that. Please be nice to one another, because this market that we are all navigating in is very difficult. And if we start being cutthroat and mean to each other, it's just going to make it that much more difficult. Be professional and be nice. Doesn't mean you have to roll over and play dead. I didn't say that, because competition is competition, and I get it. Do your best, but be nice doing your best. Remember, the real estate experts predict that home prices are projected to grow at a slightly slower rate in 2022, but still double digits. So they're predicting at about 10 to 11% increase, as opposed to 26, 27. I mean, it's like they're predicting that, with new buyers continuing to enter the market and not enough homes for sale to meet demand. Home sales and prices are still going up. Okay. They're just saying that they're going to see a little bit of a slow, but still in double digits. So why is Utah real estate so expensive? We have a lot of job opportunities. Our job market here, you guys, is super strong. Many new people are coming into the state. And you guys, let's think about this too. I didn't even put this in the slide, but this is very true because I'm hearing it a lot. There are a lot of national companies saying, okay, that's it. We're going on remote. Like, everybody can work virtually. Well, they've always wanted to move to Utah. They've always wanted to live 30 minutes from the ski resorts. They've always. And Utah is very high on everyone's list of where they would like to be. And with them given permission for the next foreseeable future of a company. So for example, my girlfriend lives in Connecticut and she works for Priceline. Priceline, who is a holding company that owns a lot of other companies, has now committed to be remote forever. So technically, she could live wherever she wanted to live. And as long as she's got good internet and a computer, they don't care. She can live wherever. All right. I think that's contributing factor to why our state is growing hand over fist faster too, is because, oh my gosh, who wouldn't want to live here? It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Can I interject one thing?
Please.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I was just listening to something last week where a company in California, it's a sticker company, has decided to move their corporate headquarters to Camas. They're done with the taxes. They're being taxed so heavily. And I've heard of at least 2 other companies that are looking at coming to Utah and putting their corporate headquarters here. So
bingo.
Right. So anyway, I just thought I would let you know.
No, that is beautiful. I love it. Thank you for interjecting. That's wonderful. But that's part of our job too, you guys, is it Minette? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, Minette.
Minette. So I would take the lead from Minette and keep your ear to the ground and know what new companies are coming in and how could you be of assistance for their real estate needs? Because that's a huge thing. Start talking to the gatekeepers of the HR. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do with that piece of information, because new jobs means more growth. So I love that. Congratulations. I'm glad you heard that. And thank you for letting us know. This, along with a native population growing up and wanting to stay here, makes the housing demand huge. They have a very hard time pacing the growth and demand for housing. They, meaning Utah. It's really hard. The higher the demand, the higher the price. But the top states that are moving here to Utah are California, Idaho, Washington, Texas, and Arizona. Get some relationships in those 5 states. Get some relationships going. And you might even consider doing 1 or 2 hours a week of literally looking up great agents in one of those states and just start cold calling, asking permission to be able to put them into your SOI so that you can stay connected. Okay. It's just a really smart business move. Okay. Some folks are being priced out of the market, but if the job market continues to grow with a little patience, things will start opening up for everyone. That said, the housing shortage takes the shine out, but the conclusion is the housing market in Salt Lake looks good for 2022. So it's such an interesting time. I've been in the business long enough. When I first got in, everything was good, but short sales were kind of first starting to kind of rear their ugly little heads. And I remember being so young and dumb in real estate that my broker said to me when I came in shining with my first contract, my very first contract, and he read through it and it was a short sale. And he made some kind of offhanded flippant comment about the fact that it was going to take me 9 to 10 months to get paid and get this closed and blah, 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 blah. It was super negative. But I was so young and dumb in the industry that I was just like, well, mine's not going to take that long. Mine's going to close in 8 weeks. And I just made this random, ignorant prediction, but mine closed in 8 weeks. So what you put out there to the universe, even if it's out of complete unknowing, if you find yourself in rooms where people are speaking negatively and disparagingly, and you can't turn that around, get the heck out of those rooms, especially when they're agents, because it's like, there's so many different ways we could look at this market. We could be doom and gloom, or we could be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go get my unfair share. It's up to you. You decide, but make your own predictions, do your affirmations, stay positive, be nice to each other, study the market, know the numbers, believe in your power of 3. Because if you can have a conversation with your clients or at a cocktail party or just a regular party or a get together backyard barbecue, if you become that person that people think about when they have a question about Utah real estate, bingo, you just stuck another feather in your cap and you won. So I think that's awesome. Okay, it's 10:55. I'm super happy that we landed. You guys are my first ones to hear my end of year. So did I hit some points with you guys? Did I give you some good things to think about and to put in your quiver, so to speak?
Hey, Kathy.
Yes.
I thought that was one of the most informational videos I've seen in a long time, and I wanted to thank you for all of your preparation and hard work.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yay! I loved every minute of it, and I think for me, when I go into the MLS and I try to sift through the statistics to find the stats for my local area, it gets a little confusing, a little convoluted. So can you just kind of briefly walk through, like, how do you put these stats together? If I want to do Utah County and specifically Northern Utah County, how would I do that?
Yes. Okay, let me think about this for a second, because I'm familiar with Davis County because I used to run an office up there for a couple of years. And so it's like, I'm familiar with that. I know they have their own numbers. Here's my question to you. Does Utah County have like their own board, or do you guys share with us up here in Salt Lake?
I can answer that.
Yeah, sure.
Utah County became Utah Central Association of Realtors. So we have our own board, and it goes over to Moab in that area also. But the majority of agents are in Utah County, and you can pull it by city. You can pull these stats on the MLS by city.
And there's got to be, I say that, I mean, my thought is that if we've got the National Association of Realtors talking about Salt Lake County, and they're now including Tooele, because I think they're kind of smooshing this together. It's not like Chicago. It's like, you know, there's a lot of counties in Chicago, but it's like everybody says Chicago, but it encompasses a large group. There's got to be a way to pull Utah County and have it be its own standalone entity so that you can speak to where you live, speak to where your clients live. So I'm going to put that on my list too, and see if there's some way that I can pull some Utah County. Like I can pull some Davis County numbers for my Davis County peeps, but there's got to be a way that I can pull some Utah County numbers, you would think, because you guys are a very large metropolis, and you're the spot where it's all growing. So they have to keep their eye on you guys and know the numbers down there. It's just a matter of where do we go to pull for you guys specifically. So I'm going to put that on my list too. Give me a couple of days because sometimes it takes me longer to dive into a different county, but I would be happy to see if I can find some good stuff for you guys. I think that if we go to the MLS and do Utah County, but if you've got your own board, then, but you don't have your own MLS, neither does Davis County. So it's all got to be in the MLS. And now I'm just talking out loud with you. So yes, I will do my best to see if I can pull some good stuff for you guys. I may not be able to do percentages for you, but I can at least pull some stats for you that would be beneficial and helpful.
Kathy, I have a shortcut for you. We both used to be with the same brokerage.
Yeah.
And I know KW used to pull those, and Gordon used to pull those for each county. So he might be a good contact.
Yeah, I go to dinner still once a month with Gordon. So he's always like, he is my czar of information. So
I used to just steal his, and I'm not in the habit of doing them myself, but he'll know exactly how to do it.
Yes, I agree. And it's so funny because like, it sounds, I think it's simple, not easy, because it's a large task, but I do believe you're correct. And that it was in my mind. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you. Any other questions, you guys?
Thank you, Kathy. I just wanted to remind everybody, if you want her information, please put your email in the chat. I have gotten everybody's so far. And if there's anyone that is live in the Pleasant Grove office, if you guys would leave your emails or your contact information with Chelsea there, then I can get that to Kathy, please.
Perfect. And I will send you this presentation because it's kind of a mission of mine. It's a passion project, if you will, because I started out really being scared of the numbers and it's like, I didn't really want to tackle that because I just thought, I just didn't think I could ever really learn it. I didn't think I could truly understand it. And that's my own limiting belief about myself. But if anyone feels like they fall in that category, I want to strongly encourage you to just keep reading, keep studying, keep listening to people talk about the Utah economy, because all of a sudden one day you'll just wake up and it will all make sense if you keep studying. And it's very beneficial information for your clients. And we want to be those stellar professionals that is leading the industry. And I believe telling the numbers and the story is how we can attempt to do that at our best. Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, talk to you guys later.